Hello dreamers, we finally got it. The Uncrafting machine. The quest to get it is Cheshire quest, friendship level 7 quest. And let me just tell you, this machine is incredible. I love the way it looks. I love just the whole concept of it. It's the way that it actually looks like it's working. The animation is super cool. The sound gets old pretty quick though. But unfortunately, there is not everything about this thing is great. This has been very mixed. The opinions on Uncrafting Table are very mixed online. Okay, who am I kidding? They're not mixed. People hate it. People absolutely hate Uncrafting Table. And honestly, for a good reason. In this video, we're going to go through the reasons why this is a good addition, why, what is bad about it, how can it be improved, and also what are the best uses for Uncrafting Table. We're going to take a look at the prices. We're going to discuss what is worth Uncrafting, what is not worth Uncrafting, and why, in my opinion, you should actually not be uncrafting anything at all right now. All of that coming up in this video. Subscribe for more Disney Dreamlight Valley content, and join the giveaway. We have a giveaway for $30 gift card of the platform of your choice going on right now. The link is in the description. We just reached 44,000 subscribers, so we're launching the giveaway to celebrate it. All right, let's talk Uncrafting Table. First of all, I just hate this sound. Can I disable this sound because it's driving me insane? All right, I turned it off. So why do people hate Uncrafting Table? Let's talk about it. Number one reason, and in my opinion a very justified reason, is the fact that it takes Dreamlight to uncraft things. And when developers first announced Uncrafting Table, they literally used these words: a small amount of Dreamlight. Oh boy, how small this amount is. So it seems like certain things cost ridiculous amount of Dreamlight. The highest I found, the most expensive items to uncraft, are items that we have crafted with the highest level gifts on from the storybook, from Eternity Isle on the time bending machine. This uses 10 gifts, 25 glimmer, and 5,000 mist, and all of it is returned for you for the small price of $37.50 Dreamlight. In my opinion, absolute ripoff. These items are great. There is no reason to uncraft them. You can always find a place to use them if you already crafted it. Most of them are incredible, and paying $37.50 to uncraft this is ridiculous. My guess is that the rare gifts, I think the way the calculations of the cost of the Dreamlight works is there are different tiers for items. There are like cheap items, slightly more expensive items, maybe 3 or 4 tiers, and this is definitely the highest tier. Glimmer and the gifts basically add up to absolutely ridiculous cost. Other things like the DJ booth takes $12.50 to uncraft. Paths are actually ridiculously expensive to uncraft. Like, it blows my mind. To uncraft 4 pieces of path, you're gonna need to spend 50 Dreamlight. So let's say if you wanted to uncraft decent amount of path, like if you had a path without border, and if you want to craft bordered path, let's say you want to do 500 paths, it's gonna take 6,250 Dreamlight to get 250 stones back. That is a horrible, terrible deal. Absolutely ridiculous. It's so much easier to get 250 rocks than to get 6,250 Dreamlight. So for example, to uncraft the pools that we crafted for the last star path, it only costs 200 Dreamlight to get 300 rocks back. This sounds like a much better deal than paying thousands of Dreamlight for 250 rocks with the paths. Paths are ridiculously like unbalanced. In my opinion, the way they balanced the Dreamlight cost for uncrafting is basically nonsense, which is kind of fitting considering we just got Cheshire Cat and he was the one to introduce the station. So it almost feels like a prank. Almost feels like it's not worth it at all. It is worth it for a few very specific occasions, which we're going to talk about in later. But let's address another thing that is absolutely horrible about Uncrafting Table, and it's the UI. It's horrible. It's the worst, probably worst UI in the entire game. So there is no way to find anything. You just get a giant list of all of your craftables. And from what I can understand, the order of these craftables is the order of which these items were added to your collection. So the first items on the list were the first items you ever crafted in Disney Dreamlight Valley. And then as soon as you craft a new recipe, it's basically added to the end of the list. This is why the first items are in the beginning and the last items are in the end. It's the same sorting we have in the crafting menu when we go to the crafting station. And it just doesn't make sense. It's much easier to find items if they're at least sorted alphabetically. But to be fair, we do need a complete crafting UI overhaul. At the very least, we need a search bar and a sort field to be able to sort by certain things or filter by categories, by color, to be able to find things to craft or uncraft much easier. This UI is horrendous, and it took me 5 minutes to even find a pull in a giant list of items. It's just, I don't know, it just feels like the whole idea was so amazing. It's something that people have asked, but it feels like it almost like an afterthought, considering how they hyped it up. It feels so unpolished and so poorly done. Like this could have been so great. And I genuinely don't understand the Dreamlight cost. Gameloft has nothing to gain from putting these Dreamlight costs to such ridiculous levels. It's not like you can buy Dreamlight with real money. It's not like making them cheaper is gonna affect their sales in any way. There is no reason, no logical reason for these prices to be that expensive or for these prices to be Dreamlight. It feels like the game is getting more and more unbalanced every single update towards Dreamlight, and the coins, people are just drowning in coins. But Dreamlight is extremely difficult to get, and more things now start requiring Dreamlight. We got Slow Cooker using Dreamlight a while ago. Now we get this using Dreamlight, and now the Star Path is causing us to use Dreamlight to craft potions. Okay, potions can be useful, but manuals? 99% of people are never gonna use those training manuals. So, and there is no way to uncraft them because you can only uncraft furniture items. You cannot uncraft something you crafted that goes into your inventory, like potions, or any resources that basically go to your inventory, like shiny gifts, potions, manuals. None of that can be uncrafted. So it's another drain on Dreamlight. Something needs to be done. That's why I am very, very confident. I think the amount of backlash Gameloft is getting right now for these Dreamlight costs, I do not see how can they possibly not lower it. It's just insane. They're gonna either have to lower it or switch it to coins. Like, they can literally jack up the prices in coins to ridiculous levels. It's basically like buying resources back. But using Dreamlight for something that you already crafted, it just doesn't make any sense. Now, some people complain about the fact that it takes time to uncraft items. That one I don't really care about because the time is not that great, and how many items can you possibly need to uncraft? If you want to uncraft your paths, you can put all of them in one slot. You can have 3 slots going at a time. I do not believe there is a lot of people who will need to be running this machine 24/7 to be able to uncraft all the items. Plus, most of the items don't need to be uncrafted, especially with these prices. My huge suggestion is to not uncraft anything that you don't need at this exact moment. Like, if you are out of Dreamlight and you need it right now, sure, you can uncraft some of your chests to get some of the Dreamlight back. But if you're planning to uncraft a pool to get 300 stones back, and you don't really need stone at the moment, I don't think that there is a reason to do so. You can always do it later, but if you don't need stone right now, by the time you will need it, you might actually already have a decent amount of it already. So there is no reason to uncraft anything just to get rid of it, just to get the resources back if you don't need the resources at this exact moment. Because number one, they could change the prices of Uncrafting, so I'm very confident it's gonna be cheaper in the future in either coins or less Dreamlight. And also later on you might realize that you can get this resource much easier than you thought, and you can just keep the items and save the Dreamlight to begin with. So this is one thing. Let's talk about what are actually good uses for Uncrafting tables. What should you actually use it for? So first of all, let's take a look at chests. The chests do return Dreamlight that you used to craft them. Well, the small chest doesn't take any Dreamlight, so this one gives you back stone and wood for 50 Dreamlight. In my opinion, if you have a lot of small chests, instead of upgrading them, definitely uncraft them and just craft the new chest. If you do want to upgrade your small chests to medium or medium to large, doing any kind of chest upgrade makes more sense to uncraft the previous version of a chest and then craft a new one. For example, let's just do some math. To get the small chest to large, it's gonna cost you 8.5 thousand in upgrades. But you can spend 50 to get all of your resources back. Oh, we can craft multiple of this. Oh, good to know. So you can literally just craft a large chest using 5,000 Dreamlight. That's just the cost of upgrade from small to large. I mean, from medium to large. But if you have medium chests, you can still disenchant them for 650 Dreamlight profit. So you can get 650 Dreamlight back and then spend 5,000. So it's going to cost 650 Dreamlight less to craft a new large chest and disenchant your medium chest, uncraft your medium chest versus upgrading it. So basically, the moral of the story, do not upgrade chests. It's always a bad deal. There is no conditions where upgrading chests is worth it. Always uncraft them and craft the chest that you want. But we don't need to craft large chests anymore to begin with, because if you have completed Aladdin Realm, you are going to get access. Basically, Aladdin Friendship Quest, I think level 7 or maybe level 10, probably level 7. You are going to unlock these marketplace chests that do not require Dreamlight to craft at all. It only needs tinkering pots, gold ingots, dark wood, and dry wood. And it has the same capacity and, in my opinion, looks incredible. So there is no more need to craft large Dreamlight chests. If you have any of them, I would highly recommend disenchanting them, getting that Dreamlight back. You can get all 5,000 Dreamlight back for each large chest and then craft these chests. You are gonna get most of the resources you need to craft this from disenchanting your large and medium chests. You're gonna get 5 gold ingot, dark wood, and then you're just gonna need to make some tinkering pots. And you're even gonna get some positive gold returns. So Aladdin chests are the most efficient way to do storage nowadays. Alright, let's talk a couple more scenarios where Uncrafting table could be worth it. For example, if you have crafted event items, something with eggs, buttons, marshmallows, you can actually uncraft them. For example, right now you can craft, use the buttons to craft the buckets, the popcorn buckets, and if you craft them right now, you will get a holdable accessory for each of these buckets. So if I were to uncraft my Stitch bucket, I would get all of the buttons back. And yes, it is expensive. It's 800 Dreamlight. You can just wait for this event to come back later, I think in June. This June, it's going to come back and you can get all of these buttons and unlock all of these carrying accessories. Or you can just uncraft them and then craft them right back. If you feel like 800 Dreamlight is worth it to just gain that accessory a month early, then you can do that. Or if you just, for example, have too many of one bucket and you want to craft a different bucket using some limited time resources. The only thing that might be worth recovering, even with the ridiculous Dreamlight cost, is those rare event resources if you wanted to craft a different item using the same resources, because these buttons, for example, or any of the other event resources cannot be obtained any other time except during the events. So that makes them, in a way, more valuable and more rare than even Dreamlight. I have seen even new players freaking out about how much Dreamlight this thing takes to operate. Some items are ridiculously expensive to uncraft. Some are decent, but for me personally, I like my items. I like having multiple items. I never know when I'm gonna use them, so if I don't need resources urgently, I'm just gonna keep as many items as I can, because one day I might decide to do a build and I'm gonna need more of this item, so then I'll have to craft it back again, and then I'm just gonna be out Dreamlight. And especially with the possibility of these prices going down, I would strongly suggest to not uncraft anything right now unless absolutely necessary. Like, if you literally need the Dreamlight now, you might want to uncraft some of your chests. But for paths, for fences, for like small stuff in large quantities, it's just not worth it. It's ridiculous amount of Dreamlight to pay for path uncrafting. This update made it clear two things. One, we need a complete redesign for crafting UI, which I was kind of hoping we were going to get this update, because last update we got cooking UI redesign and it was great. Why did they stop? Why didn't they move to crafting next? Crafting needs redesign desperately. So I'm hoping that all of this feedback that Gameloft is getting right now is gonna make two things happen. Number one, they're gonna improve the UI for crafting. Number two, they're gonna give us more ways to earn Dreamlight, or switch or reduce costs for some of the things that require Dreamlight, like Uncrafting Station, Slow Cooker. I would rather pay gold, or the amount of Dreamlight needs to be significantly less, like literally 10 times less for it to make sense. Anyway, this is my take on Uncrafting Table. It's a great idea, but unfortunately a pretty lackluster execution. It seems like it's still nice to have, but the way they hyped it up and made it like the way the design itself is so beautiful. The quest, the way they introduce it into the game is wonderful. Why not just make a few small things that would make this item incredible? UI and Dreamlight cost, it's like I feel like we are already having so many complaints about the imbalance between Dreamlight and coins in this game, how there is never enough Dreamlight for anything. And they see that and introduce a machine that uses ridiculous amounts of Dreamlights. Doesn't seem right at all. Anyway, I am very confident they're going to listen and they're going to make improvements to it. They've done it in the past. They've increased the glide duration by a lot. They have fixed a lot of things that community complained about, so let's keep complaining about the Uncrafting machine, and they're gonna improve it in hopefully next hotfix, or at the very worst in the next update. I am pretty confident about that. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more Disney Dreamlight Valley, and take care.
Oh, nice day we're having, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. Woohoo!
Amazing. Gotta tell you, it is really beautiful here. Hey, nice to see you.
Oh, hello.
Are you seeing this?
Oh.